All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Rio and I talking some hoops, 6 games on this Tuesday. We got a big boy slate tomorrow. NFL out of town, NBA the story in town. Still got NHL, MMA, PGA, so still plenty of sports going on. Hoops, though, takes over the attention. Big prize pools, 6-gamer. First of all, shout out Cheats. Another 100K win, man. That's 2. And I think like a week, 2 weeks, something like that. So shout out to you, Sheets. Rio, I'll throw it to you right away, man. Tuesday, it's beautiful here. I don't know how it is by you. I'll be by your place watching some MMA pretty shortly. What's the weather, I guess, if you know what it's going to be. But what's your thoughts on this 6-game slate? Not much injury news, I think, we need to worry about.
Yeah, good weather over here today. Nice and sunny. A beautiful day getting back home yesterday. We have a nice 2-week stretch. I had Phoenix with all the guys last weekend. That was a ton of fun. I see our guy Winslow in here. It was nice meeting you over the weekend. Met a couple members, all the DJing guys. Really, really fun weekend. Definitely excited to get back home and get back to normalcy though, and get back into NBA streets. Definitely a little bit out of the loop with all the trade stuff, and then being at the Waste Management, all that stuff. So doing our best to catch up. Going to be a long day tomorrow for sure with the 13-gamer, but yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about tonight's slate first and foremost. But yeah, it should be a fun weekend as well. You're gonna be out here on Thursday. We're going to the UFC 298. Might see one of our other members, Connor, out there as well. So gonna be a really fun weekend hanging out with you and your lady.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a great time. Jasmine's in here. Your lady, the boys survived. Yes, we did. But also, ready to get back in the NBA swing of things. Then we get the All-Star break, though. So we get today a solid 6-gamer, big game or big slate Wednesday, small slate Thursday, All-Star break. Perfect time. Like I said, we're going to be out. First time for me and Callie, so I'm excited to see LA. We'll be watching fights. Definitely going to see Connor, though. And if anyone else is out there in Anaheim at UFC 298, hit us up. We'd love to get a drink with you or something like that. But card's going to be stacked. We got you covered for MMA. PGA, we got you covered for D-Gen, our newest edition. Very exciting stuff. Best golf projections, ownership in the industry. Prices aren't changing. We get his model, the Stone, coming over here. Very exciting stuff over here at the Nation. Weekly, monthly, 6-month, annual memberships. No better price. Get in. Check out the prices at SHIPIT.com. If you do join, use that promo code DGEN15. Gets you 15% off. Also get in the Discord, though. Rio, like button also, we appreciate that. Rio, anything else you want to say? Any thoughts on this slate? Again, I don't think much injury news. Porzingis, Q-Tag, we'll get that news at lock. Again, 7:30 Eastern. I didn't say that yet, though. 30 minutes after usual lock time. We'll get Porzingis news. LeBron ADQ, I'm expecting him to play like usual. Then we got Conley, Scoot Henderson. That game's later at 10 Eastern. I'm not backloading or anything for that, so I'm pretty much playing it how the slate is right now. Porzingis news will be important when we get it. Projections updated, of course, but any initial thoughts, man? My voice is cooked from the weekend too, so take it over.
Now, once we get started, I'll definitely do most of the heavy lifting talking-wise, but I just wanted to build off what you're saying with the D-Gen merger. Really looking forward to that. Going to be a great addition to the team. All you guys that play PJ obviously know D-Gen, one of the sharpest guys in the industry. Super excited to bring him over and all the stuff he does, the Rosetta Stone, his projections, all that stuff. Got to meet him over the weekend. Super nice guy. So definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, as far as the slate goes, you touched on it. Kristaps Porzingis news, I guess, kind of the biggest one right now. And then the LeBron AD stuff. But yeah, you said it. Expect them to play tonight. They have a back-to-back. I'm pretty sure everybody that's playing tonight is also on a back-to-back. But yeah, they'll be in Utah tomorrow, so probably would expect one of, if not both of them, to sit tomorrow.
I like it. Yep. We'll go game by game first. Saying the hi to people in chat. So many familiar faces. Ben, Paraby, Michael. By the way, Paraby, I love your new picture in Discord. Saw that over the weekend. Marquis, Michael, wins a lot. Again, it was very nice meeting you a lot, wins a lot. And your wife, Networks Academy, I believe that Coach, Evan's back, Jasmine, Mark, Jake's in here, Michael Peterson, yes, Hebrew is in the house. Eddie, what's going on? Jordan in here, Kevin's in here. Jordan, you got that Giannis one. Or no, I assume you're talking about this one, Jordan, the bottom one, but let me know if it's that one or the Giannis one. William's in here, Kevin in here. What's going on, folks? Let's talk some hoops. That's what you guys are here for. Game by game, Rio, 7:30 Eastern again, 7:30 Eastern, one game at 8. Then you got a 2-hour window. Grab some food, do what you got to do. Kings, Phoenix, Timberwolves, Portland at 10, then one game at 10:30. What's going on, Takedown? Boston Celtics, Brooklyn Nets, 227 total. Boston 9-point favorites to kick off the night. Again, Porzingis news, the biggest news on the slate. He's questionable. No other injury news in this game. Cam Johnson is out for Brooklyn. As far as ownership in this game, it really looks like Tatum and nothing. So if Porzingis plays, do you have interest in Tatum? If he's out, do guys like Jaylen Brown, Derek White, the Al Horfords of the world, do any of them get big enough boosts? This looks like one of the lowest owned games of the slate right now.
Yeah, I think Tatum is a pretty solid spend up. Make sure I'm okay. Thought I was on mute for a second. I think Tatum is a pretty solid spend up option tonight. He's been playing really well lately, kind of been really close to having some massive games, really close to some triple doubles, double-digit rebounds in back-to-back games, 7+ assists in 4 straight games. So he looks like he's a pretty solid spin-up option. This is kind of a neutral matchup. The Nets have been pretty solid since the start of 2024. They're ranking 12th in defensive rating, but their offense has been terrible. But yeah, the Nets they're slightly more vulnerable to transition scores. I think that guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have pretty solid matchups from there. Matchup probably benefits Brown a little bit more. I think Tatum probably sees a lot of Mikal. Well, he probably would see Dorian Finney-Smith now that he's back off the injury report. I believe he's on a little bit of a minutes restriction right now, so probably won't get the full Tatum minutes when he's out there. But yeah, I think those guys are interesting. And then if Porzingis misses, Derek White has kind of been the guy that's picked up a lot of usage when any of these starters were to miss. I think that he would be a totally fine option at 6.3K. As far as the Nets side go, though, Celtics been obviously one of the better teams all around all season long. They're top 4 defense and top 6 offense in the new year. They are getting slightly beaten by pick and roll ball handlers. I think that if you were considering any of these guys, it would be Mikal Bridges, Cam Thomas, and then even Dennis Schroeder, who kind of he got added to the mix with the swap for Spencer Dinwiddie. Played 27 minutes in his first game, put up double-digit assists, 15, 12, and 3 line, 38.75 DK points. I think that he's a pretty solid value option. Not too sure what his role is going to be like going forward with this team, but 4.8K, really solid price tag for him, but really just interested in some of these guard players on the net side.
Did you say anything about Horford if Porzingis misses?
I didn't mention him. I guess, 5.2K would be a solid option. Would step back into the starting lineup as the starting center. So, yeah, I guess I'd have some interest in Horford, but more so looking to the guys up top, Derek White, Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I like it. I like Tatum for sure. Even if Porzingis plays, I think Tatum's good. Comes with a little ownership. Derek White, you said gets a big boost. I like him the second best if Porzingis misses. Cam Thomas, probably my favorite net. I just love him because he chucks. But him, Bridges, I guess, fine as one-offs. Not by far not my favorite game, though. I don't like this one. I doubt you're going to say yes to this, but if it's Luke Cornett in play, if there's no Porzingis.
I think they would probably go with Hauser in the starting lineup. They can just slide Horford up 1, Tatum up 1. I think that would do it. I guess 3.2K is fine for somebody that might get the backup center minutes, but his minutes have really been trending down lately, so don't have a ton of interest in him, but I would have to just kind of follow the projections on him.
So obviously, if he somehow started, he'd be a good play. Anyone starting there. If he came off the bench, though, it's good segue in this next game. Him or Jonathan Isaac, though, because we talked about Isaac couple times, it feels like the past couple of weeks. He looks to be the cheap value, at least one of them right now. Answer that question. Then I guess just lead us right in OKC and Orlando. Just lead us right into there for DFS too. But start with Isaac in this one.
Yes, I think I would need probably Cornett to be starting to have a lot of interest in him. I just don't know. Like Horford probably plays 30 2 to 34 minutes in a close game. So that's, you're leaving about 14 minutes for Cornet. I guess he could hit value at that, 3.2K, but I think right now I would probably lean Jonathan Isaac. They did, they're starting to extend him a little bit more, got up to 25 minutes last game, 19 the game before, kind of been around the 20-minute mark every game this season. But yeah, I know they're starting to extend him a little bit more. So I would definitely have more interest in Jonathan Isaac right now. But yeah, as far as this game environment goes, I think it's a pretty solid game to attack. The Orlando has been a pretty solid defense all year long. They're top 7 in defensive rating. Thunder kind of slipping a little bit defensively. They're top 11 right now, but still a top 7 overall defense. Thunder have been a team I've been looking to attack with off-ball shooters. They're allowing the second most points per game off catch and shoot situations. Magic, they're not really a team that has a ton of guys that excel in that category. They're kind of, they live around the rim a lot. Thunder have been really solid rim defense all year long, but Franz, some of these guards, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, even Wendell Carter Jr. kind of, they can have some good games with catch and shoot stuff. Franz has been playing really well lately. I think he would be my overall favorite option on the Magic side, but I like Paulo a little bit as well. Going to see a lot of Jalen Williams defensively. Jalen Williams is really solid overall defender, but I think Franz has a better price tag. I guess better points per dollar upside at 7.1K. Probably sees Lou Dort on defense. Tough matchup, but it's not impossible for him to overcome. I just like the price tag on Franz a little bit better. And then these guards, looking at a little bit of ownership, Jalen Suggs. I mean, not Markelle Fultz as much, but Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony. I would probably be a max one of those guys. Don't see 2 of them getting there, but Cole Anthony has been a guy that he's got really big upside when he's given the minutes. Just the range of outcomes has been really wide for him lately. Got up to 30 minutes last game, but every game the 5 games prior to that, he saw no more than 19 minutes. And I mean, even had a low minutes floor of 11 minutes against Detroit, which is a really good matchup for him. So I'm not sure I'm buying the 30 minutes, but he definitely would have the most upside out of those guys when given the minutes. And then on the Thunder side of things, I think this is a pretty sneaky good spot for Shai Gilgeous. The Magic are giving up a ton of points in isolation. They're the fourth worst isolation defense in the league. They take away 3-pointers, top 2 in 3-point defense, and they're a pretty good rim protection team, but they're allowing the 4th most points per game in half court. Thunder, one of the better half court offenses in the league. They're the best in a points per possession standpoint. They're first in points per possession in half court offense. So I think that Shai has some pretty good upside in this matchup. Don't really have a ton of interest in these other guys. I think that Jalen Williams, 7K is fine to keep in your player pool. Minutes have come up as of late, returning from the ankle injury. So I think that he's a totally fine option.
Phenomenal breakdown. I'm not really even going to add too much. I think Franz is good. I probably would max one of Franz, Paulo on this slate. These first 2 7:30 games, especially if Porzingis is in, I think are 2 of the worst games on this slate. I like these later games better, and especially if you do feel more weary about like one of AD or LeBron sitting. Like there's a lot of good games late, 3 games, 10 p.m. Eastern or later too. So yeah, I don't like this game much. I think Jonathan Isaac, as of now, going to get some ownership. Can always fade the chalk guys. Lower minutes cap, like Jordan said in this one, 20 minutes, then he played the extra 5 in OT. So, yeah, I definitely don't like this game much. SGA on the OKC side, Paulo, Franz, I think Isaac is fine, but there's other ways to go on this slate. So, not much interest in these first 2 games. This next game, Miami-Milwaukee, by far the best game stack, in my opinion, on the slate. Before we do, though, a couple people want to say hi to Big Marley, what's going on? Nate, what's going on? You guys got back home safe. Love to see that. Falling into Isaac trap way too much. Yeah, he's been talked about a little bit as of late. Couple people, Sean Sullivan and Jason, coming from the PGA show into here. PGA locking Thursday. I saw DGen got out his first look yesterday. Awesome stuff. Hoop and Tambo, PGA, very big prize pools, best team over here at SHIPITNation.com. And I appreciate that, Tyler. My man, Tyler, hope everything's going well with you. And Spread, tell Spread I say hi. Power in here as well. Appreciate that like button. And again, if you want to get over with us at SHIPITNation.com, no better price, multiple packages, head over, get in the Discord as well. Third game of the night, Miami Heat, Milwaukee Bucks. This should be a good one. 222.5 total. Bucks 8.5-point favorites. Injury report, no Middleton for the Bucks again. For Miami, Butler's out, Terry Rozier's out, Josh Richardson's out, Duncan Robinson is questionable. That Duncan Robinson news actually means a good bit because, man, they are thin in the backcourt. Like Tyler Hero, if you even want to talk about the grew up in Wisconsin, hometown game, probably has people in the crowd, etc. I mean, I like Hero in this spot a lot. There's no one to compete with, especially if Duncan's out. He's going to play all the minutes in the world. Now, I'm not saying anything sneaky. He's going to be mega chalk, but that's definitely chalk on good eating and why I'd rather fade stuff like Isaac or get different at contrarian spends. So, yeah, I mean, these Heat, Duncan Robinson, Hawkes, Bam, Love, it's the Heat, the story of the slate for sure. Duncan news is important. Bucks side can definitely play Giannis, but as of now, I'm not sure we have the value. I'd rather kind of go mid-tier and save a bit at spend. So Miami side for sure, great. Break it down this game however you want.
Yeah, good breakdown there. Matchup-wise, Miami, they've kind of gone back to their normal ways of defense. Remember, we talked about it earlier in the year where they were kind of struggling with their rim protection, but since the start of 2024, they're first in rim protection. They are bottom 8 3-point defense, which is kind of how we've known that this Miami defense likes to protect it. The Bucks have been about a league average, both rim and 3-point defense, but they're still, they're getting killed by guards, which has been the thing all season long. Having guys like Damian Lillard and Malik Beasley trying to defend these guys has not worked out. They're allowing the second most points to pick and roll ball handlers. So yeah, you said it, Tyler Hero in a really good spot here. Going to see heavy increased usage with no Jimmy Butler, no Terry Rozier, no Josh Richardson. Those are, 3 guys that all take away some ball handling. And then Duncan Robinson were to miss here as well. Would probably be just more minutes to spread out with some of these guards. So yeah, I think that Tyler Hero in a really good spot here. And then Bam, the matchup is not the greatest for Bam. The Bucks have been pretty good with their rim defense. Brook Lopez, solid rim defender, just solid overall defender. But I guess the thing that he does have going for him, going to see more usage. Only has a 26.3% usage rate with those guys that I just mentioned that are injured off the court this season. But he's averaging 47 DK points per 36 minutes. Should play a ton of minutes here tonight. Last time these teams faced off, he played, I think, 42 minutes, went for 55.5 DK points. 31, 10, and 5 lines. So I think that he's a fine option. The price tag has come down a lot, so there's a little bit of upside for him at 8.3K. And then, yeah, these value guys are going to be pretty popular, and I think for the right reason. Caleb Martin, I'm pretty into at 5K. He's going to be out there for a ton of minutes tonight. They're going to need his on-ball defense on Damian Lillard, so I like him. Hawkes should be looking to bounce back here, 4.5K, pretty reasonable tag for him. Had a really bad game his last time out, filling in for Jimmy Butler, but he's been pretty solid all year long. So I think that he's got a chance to bounce back here. I would have interest in Duncan Robinson if he's in, but just we won't know that news until 4:30 or I guess 7:30 for your East Coast guys. And then if he's out, probably going to see more minutes from Haywood Highsmith. Probably see Jamal Cain mix in a little bit. I don't know much about this Alondes Williams guy, but maybe he mixes in. But mainly looking to the guys up top, Bam, Hero, Caleb Martin, Jaime Jaquez are the ones that I'd be looking to. And then Giannis, he's going to see Bam tonight. Bam's done an okay job of holding him in check. Last time he only went for 46.3 DK points, but he did go for those 2 games ago. Last game went for 61 DK points, 33, 10, 5 line. His ball handling has increased a lot lately since they added Doc Rivers into the mix. So I think it's a pretty good spot for him to, flirt with a triple-double. The way that the Miami Heat like to play defense, they play a lot of zone, so it leaves 3-point shooters open a lot. So you can get Giannis, right around the rim and find an open guy. They got some good shooters: Damian Lillard, Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, Malik Beasley, all really good off-ball 3-point shooters. So I think he could have a pretty big stat line with the assist numbers. Dame has been, pretty big disappointment from a fantasy perspective. But he's mixed in a couple decent games. 2 games ago went for 50 DK points versus Charlotte, only 29 minutes in that one. Doc Rivers has said he wanted to get him more involved as a ball handler, so maybe we see that come to fruition tonight. But I kind of struggle to see him produce a slate winning score at almost 9K. So I would probably be looking to get away from it and just try to get up to Giannis if I could.
Yeah, do you see right now enough value if the slate locks right now? we don't get any more value, how much Giannis do you think you'd have?
Probably not much. I would probably be right around the field, 10%, 10-15% maybe. I mean, there are some guys in the low 3Ks that can make it work. Like even in this game, Kevin Love, 3.6K, pretty solid projection on him. We talked about Jonathan Isaac, Cole Anthony last game. So I do think that there are ways to make it work, but I think you might be limiting upside in your lineups a little bit too much with these guys. You know, I would probably call those guys pretty shaky value options right now.
Yeah, like Highsmith's in this game too. Right now, if I ran my projection like optimal and then with Giannis, it's like a 3.2 projection difference. So definitely doable, no doubt about that. Ownership is going to be low, and then if more value opens up. So yeah, you definitely can get to Giannis on this slate. Now, is there any rules you'd be making with Miami, whether it's grouping away? I don't see any grouping away, but if you see that, more so like how many max, especially if there's Duncan Robinson out, I could play 5, like at these prices probably. 4 definitely could play. Even if Duncan's in, I mean, these guys are smash plays. So anything, that you're seeing like max or grouping away or anything like that.
I don't think so. I think I agree with you. I think you could probably get to a lot of these guys, especially if Duncan were to miss. But I would be totally fine with 3 to 4 of these guys right now. Yeah, so I think I'm in agreement with you.
Cool. What's going on, Lachlan? What's going on? Giannis, people talking about Jordan set a stat like back-to-backs he crushes. Bam crushed Giannis last time. Yeah, I mean, obviously this Miami side, all of them are good plays. Giannis is the easier run back. I do think Brooks fine, though. Dame's fine. Jay Crowder, I'll say, is one person a lot more popular in FanDuel than DK. Small forward, power forward eligibility, price at 4.6. Some stocks, but him, Caleb Martin, another one will be more popular in FanDuel than DK. We'll get some there. Other than that, though, yeah, Miami's going to be owned on both sites. Bucks not so much, except Crowder on FanDuel. Let's keep it going. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Appreciate the like button. Hope all are watching on playback, having a good day. Hope you win some cheese out there tonight, like my man Coolin yesterday, winning a nice, cool $250,000. Shout out to you, Coolin. Next game on the slates. We got 10 p.m. Eastern, Sacramento Kings, Phoenix Suns, 245 total. Phoenix 5-point favorites. Injury report in this one, Chris Duarte questionable. Nothing on the injury report means anything in this one. I'll go right back to you, Rio. As far as ownership in this game, though, I think Sabonis gets some, Fox gets some, Malik Monk and Keegan Murray probably a little bit as mid-tier options. Maybe some KD, Booker, Beal, but I don't think so as much on that side. I think it's more so on the King side. And again, this is where people not going Giannis will save to kind of the Foxes, Sabonis, KD, Booker range, stuff like that with not the best value. How do you like this game?
Yeah, I love this game. This is probably the game I'm looking to attack the most. Probably going to want to have guys on both sides of it. Just two teams running really tight rotations, especially on the Sun side of things. But, I mean, the Kings, they've been really struggling defensively in 2024. Suns have been pretty good, but the Kings, they're ranked 23rd in overall defensive rating. They're allowing a ton of, I think, the most three-pointers per game in that stretch. Suns are allowing the 6th most since January 1st. I mean, both these teams are slightly below average pick-and-roll defenses, and they have above average pick-and-roll ball handlers on the opposing side. So, yeah, I like this game a lot. Start on the Kings side. Domantas Sabonis been crushing all year long, especially as of late. You know, he's been a triple-double machine. He's played really well against the Suns team. He's had the last two times these teams faced off went for 62.8, 58.5 DK points. Yeah, he's probably one of my favorite spend-up options tonight. Love him. Think De'Aaron Fox. I want to be into him just because the price tag is really low, and this is a good spot for him. I'd like to attack the Suns team. They don't really have a lot of great on-ball defenders. Did get a little bit better with the addition of Royce O'Neal, but I don't know how many minutes he's going to realistically play with his second game with the team. But, yeah, it's a really good price tag for Fox, a good matchup. Just the range of outcomes has been really wide for him. He's played really well against this Phoenix team, gone for 51-plus in all 3 meetings this season. He's 4 games removed from a 63-point DK performance game. But, I mean, the range of outcomes has been really wide 5 of his last 11 games gone below 34 DK points. That's just not going to cut it at 8K. I like this game environment a lot, so I'm probably going to have a lot of him, but I'm a little bit nervous about it. Malik Monk been playing great as of late as well. 4 of his 5 last games gone above 40 DK points. Good matchup for him. For all the reasons I mentioned with Fox, I think that if Fox is struggling at all, could be Monk that's going to pick up some more of an offensive workload. Keegan Murray looks like a really solid value option at 5.1K. Mentioned how the Suns are giving up a lot of 3-point shooters in the new year. I think that he's a really solid value option this game. I guess we'd have to touch on the Trey Lyles stuff because he's been somebody that's getting around 18, 20 minutes a night. He's been seeing actually more than that lately. Past 4 games, 21 plus in all of those games. That's a lot of minutes vacated by a backup, and especially not having Sasha Vezenkov in there. They'd be pretty thin in their front court. So you probably see more minutes out of Keegan Murray and Harrison Barnes, and they could kind of spread it out that way. But yeah, that's definitely something to monitor. On the Phoenix side of things, really like the spot for both KD and Booker, probably max one of them. I think I slightly lean Devin Booker in this one. I just like the spot. He's more of the pick and roll guy, more of the 3-point shooter as well. So I think I'm going to lean Booker here as well. But I think they're both totally fine spend up options, and they're looking at really low ownership, 8% for KD, around 5% for Devin Booker. It's kind of a solid pivot too, because Bradley Beal looking at 20+% depending where you're looking, and he's been playing really well. So I don't want to knock him at all. 3 of his last 4 games been above 45.5 DK points, but that seems like a good leverage spot to go up to the spend up options in the same game on the same team. So that's probably what I'll be looking to do. And then I think Grayson Allen kind of makes some sense at 5.1K. He's played really well all season long. The Kings are one of the worst 3-point defenses in the league right now. Last time these teams faced off, he showed huge upside, went for 55.5 DK points on 9 of 14 shooting from deep. So I think that he makes some options, kind of a pivot to some of these guys in that low 5K range. He's looking at pretty much no ownership.
Great breakdown. Yeah, I like the studs in this game by far the most. You get Sabonis, Fox, I would max 1. KD, Booker, max 1. I think I do lean Booker with you, but man, KD these past games, definitely a lot more aggressive. Minutes have been upper 30s, putting up points. So I think both of these studs, like if you run a Sabonis, Fox, or a KD, like one on each side in this game, play the Miami value, that'll be pretty low owned. I think Keegan Murray, Monk are fine too. I think this game is pretty interesting like you, but I don't want to – you had some interest in Grayson. I don't know, like the Nurkic's, Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter's of the world. I'm not really looking at the secondary pieces as much, just hoping one of these studs put up a big score. The Trey Lyles is interesting, though, because Jonathan Isaac pivot, both power forward eligibility too. Lyles has center eligibility, going to be a fraction of the ownership. So I don't mind that call there. I'm not sure how much better value is going to get on this slate. So, yeah, I think he's interesting. Couple games left on the slate, 2 games left on the slate. Next one, 10 p.m. Eastern, Timberwolves, Portland Trailblazers, 213 total. Minnesota 9-point favorites. Injury report in this one, Mike Conley is questionable. On the Portland side, we have Scoot Henderson questionable, Malcolm Brogdon out, Shaedon Sharpe out. So there is some Q tags, Scoot and Conley. And again, like if you want to backload, play some Miami value, play nothing else for these last 3 games. I don't think that's the craziest thing. I think all of these games are somewhat appealing. And if Conley's out or Scoot's out, or like LeBron or AD somehow are out, you'll get massive ownership right there. So throw it right to you on this one, Rio. Any lean on Conley, any lean on Scoot, Q tags, and any interest in this game?
Yeah, I would lean Conley probably out tonight with it being a back-to-back. Seen him kind of, they're very, very cautious with their old veterans, so it makes sense to give him a night off in a game against the Trailblazers, who they should be able to handle them pretty easily. So I would expect him to sit tonight. We've seen Nickeil Alexander-Walker been the guy that steps up, but they haven't had Monty Morris in those games. So if they wanted to run with their prototypical type point guard, Monty Morris at 3K. Even as it stands right now, it looks like a fine enough value if that allows you to get up to Giannis. He's min-priced. He's going to see teens minutes. And with the upside for more if Conley were to miss. But yeah, all these guys in the value side on Minnesota look decent. I mean, Kyle Anderson 3.4K, Nicole Alexander Walker 3.3K, going to be really good if he's starting. Good positional stuff, shooting guard, small forward, and then Monty Morris. But yeah, I mean, this game should be a pretty big blowout. I don't see a line, but I'm guessing it's double digits if you have that.
I saw 9, but some of these aren't even updated. Sitting right about there.
Okay. Yeah, but Anthony Edwards looking at a really good spot for him. He's been playing really well as of late. He scored no less than 45 DK points in 4 straight games. Had a couple tough matchups in there as well. The Blazers are bottom 3 rim protection this season, bottom 2 transition defense, and it's averaging over 8 points per game at the rim. He's the top transition scorer on the Wolves side of things, so I like him a lot. In the mid-tier option, 8.5K, has a ton of upside. I think Karl-Anthony Towns is totally fine as well. Slightly lean with Ant, though. And then Rudy Gobert been playing really solid. He provides a really solid floor at this price tag. Scored no less than 38 DK points in 6 of his last 7 games. Blazers are a bottom 3 DVP to centers as well. They're also allowing the most blocks and steals per game to opposing centers. So I think that Rudy Gobert has some upside at this price tag as well. And I think the Blazers are kind of just a full fade right now unless we get some more value. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Scoot Henderson, I don't know if it's enough to really move the needle. Maybe you see – I mean, we had Ashton Haggins get a start over the weekend. He played pretty bad, but I mean, 3.6K, I don't think you could really do much worse. So,
yeah, this game's definitely my least favorite game this afternoon window. Like, I didn't love Boston, Brooklyn much, OKC, Orlando much. Milwaukee, Miami's my favorite game. Sacramento, Phoenix second. Detroit Lakers game we're about to talk to. Last game the night third. This game just falls in there. So, yeah, I mean, you liked Ant. I think that's probably my favorite play in this game. I think a Gobert is fine. Conley news, like a gnaw, maybe it opens up something like that a little bit, but I'm not backloading just for that news. If that stuff hits, it hits. But Porzingis is the biggest news on the slate, and Duncan Robinson, actually. Duncan for sure. That game's 30 minutes after, but I'm assuming LeBron and AD play. You're assuming that. I'm not backloading for these, so Porzingis and Duncan news early, and then after that, I'll just adjust how I can. Of course, our projections will be updated. Any core report changes will be updated, and then run your teams, run the late swap. There's what I'm doing tonight. And we will have this last game of the night, Detroit Lakers, showdown content from our man Rio. Got his rankings, core report, and then a slate plan, how he's attacking the slate. So always money to be made. If you can't play these first games in late swap, maybe just play that at the night slate, something like that. Last game of the night, Rio, Detroit Pistons, Los Angeles Lakers, 241 total. Lakers 10.5-point favorites, and also it was 8.5 points right now. Is the Timberwolves are favored on DK. Injury news in this one, Lakers side again. LeBron Q-tag, Anthony Davis questionable, Jared Vanderbilt's out. For Detroit, Isaiah Stewart's out, no injury news there. In terms of ownership in this game, I do think AD does get some ownership, just center eligible, good spot. I mean, it's a good spot for pretty much everyone on the Lakers. Can the game stay close is the question. I do think AD gets some. Jalen Duren, 2 good centers in this game, get some ownership as well. But what are you doing?
Yeah, I like this game a lot. I think it has some sneaky game stack potential, even with it being a double-digit spread. We obviously know the Pistons, one of the worst teams in the league, one of the worst defenses in the league. They've been a team we've been looking to attack all year long in DFS. But I mean, they're running some pretty tight rotations right now. So I mean, they have some value pieces. You know, post trade deadline stuff. We could see them running even tighter. Lakers going to be adding Spencer Dinwiddie into the mix, so that might take a little bit of upside off the guards like D'Lo and Reeves. But AD and LeBron are in really good spots here. Pistons have been one of the worst rim defenses in the league all season long. They're bottom 3 in 2024. They allowed the most points per game to pick and roll men, so that makes Anthony Davis a really, really strong option tonight for me. I like him. Him and Sabonis probably my 2 favorite spend ups. Probably have to only choose one with them both being center eligible unless we get some value elsewhere. But yeah, I expect him to play, and I expect him to have a really, really big game here against Jalen Duren. I think LeBron James is a fine option in this range. He's going to have a lot more ownership than Anthony Davis just with the positional eligibility stuff. Coming in at, I'm seeing around double-digit projected ownership to Anthony Davis. So I would I would probably like to find the money to get up to AD. I just think the upside's a lot bigger for AD in this spot. But I think that LeBron is kind of a fine option, probably for Tatum to him as well. But yeah, I would not mind him. And then I don't really want to mess with these secondary guys just with the unknown of what Spencer Dinwiddie is going to bring to the rotation. Probably going to take a lot of the minutes upside off of guys like D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, and they're really expensive right now. So I would probably be looking to get away from that. And then on the Detroit side, like the spot a lot for Cade. Been looking to attack the Lakers with guards all season long. They don't have any really good on-ball defenders. Cade minutes restriction looks to be lifted right now. Saw 35 and 39 minutes in his last 2 games. With all these injuries and all these trades, Cade has a 31% usage rate with all these guys off the court, 44.79 DK points per 36 minutes. So I think that he's a pretty strong option at 7.8K. Doesn't look like he's come in with a lot of ownership either. Jalen Duren, 7.1K. He's kind of chalky at this range. I will probably look to get away from it. This is just a really tough match for him. I could see him getting into foul trouble pretty quickly, having to guard Anthony Davis, but he's shown really big upside in a couple matchups. Went for 60 plus against Portland, 60 against Oklahoma City, which is a pretty tough matchup. But yeah, I would be a little bit cautious about him tonight going up against Anthony Davis. Jaden Ivey playing a ton of minutes right now, seems to have gotten the nod from Monty Williams. He's trusted now, so I think that he's a fine option. Apparently it's his birthday today too, so if you want to buy into the narrative stuff, Jaden Ivey only 6.7K, playing huge minutes in a pretty solid matchup. And then Asar Thompson, I think, is a decent value option, 4.9K. Not the worst spot for him if he can avoid foul trouble. I'm not sure if they're going to put him on LeBron James or not, but the Lakers, they do struggle with their transition defense, so this seems like a spot that Asar could have a little bit of success in. I think that he's fine at 4.9K. And then the last guy I'll mention is Simone Fontecchio, my ex-Utah Jazz, but he got moved over to Detroit, played 32 minutes in his first game over there. The projection systems might be pretty slow to react to trade news, so he's looking like a negative value right now. But I mean, he played 32 minutes, kind of a slotted in guy. If you take away Bogdanovich, they have very similar games. Obviously, Fontecchio not nearly as good, but he's a catch and shoot guy. Has a little bit of rebounding upside. Lakers are allowing the 6th most points to catch and shooters right now. So I have a little bit of interest in Fontecchio at 4.7K. We've seen him have some pretty big games around that price tag.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned him. I was going to bring him up. Like 25% usage rate, steps in, 19 field goal attempts, 9 threes. Dude was just chucking. And yeah, I mean, he closed. Like, he didn't start the game. Someone asked, is Simone starting over Thompson? I do not think so. They started Thompson last time. But man, Fontecchio came in, finished the game, played the whole 4th quarter. He played the last, pretty much the whole second half. Didn't start the 3rd quarter. Came in at almost a 7-minute mark and played the whole half after that. So definitely like Fontecchio. Cade's playing a bunch of minutes. Ivy's playing minutes. Duren's playing minutes. I think all those guys fine. Muscala starts. He gets nothing. What are your thoughts on Troy Brown? He did end last game, got more second half minutes than first half minutes. Min price 3K on a slate. Like, you give me 16, 15 at 3K, I think that's fine. So thoughts on him, and then thoughts on Williams wondering about Troy Brown too. Then thoughts on Sasser. He had a monster game too. Killian Hayes out of town. Couldn't get him traded. Monster game 2 games ago, that was, though, a couple of days ago. Man, forgot we were in Phoenix. That was the last time I played. I remember him dropping a 42 spot.
Yeah, I think some people were pretty excited to see him get some more run just with them trading away or getting rid of Killian Hayes, but there wasn't really a lot of overlap between him and Cade. So I don't really know what the true ceiling for him is. We know that he's a really solid player when he's given the minutes, but I think as long as Cade is fully healthy and playing, I don't think that the minute ceiling is there for Sasser. Good shout on Troy Brown Jr., whoever mentioned him in chat. I think that if you need a min-price guy, small forward, power forward eligible, definitely could see him getting some more minutes in this game. Kind of known as a pretty solid defender. Maybe they throw him out there for some minutes on LeBron tonight. So I think that he's probably an okay option at 3K, coming with a little bit of ownership. I think that's fine, though. But I did want to mention the Fontecchio starting over Asar. I don't think that he's going to start over Asar. If he did start, it would probably be Mike Muscala. mean, Muscala is playing 10 minutes, 12 minutes as a starter, so I wouldn't even overreact to it too much if Fontecchio's not starting, but they're gonna start giving him more minutes. That's kind of how I'm approaching this one though.
Yeah, he got 30. He didn't start last game either. I wouldn't worry about that at all. Ownership looks fine too. Did you say anything about D-Russ or LeBron? Like LeBron is a pivot off of AD at much higher ownership, 9.6, or D-Russ a fine price tag at 7.3?
Yeah, I preferred Anthony Davis to LeBron for the ownership discount, 600 cheaper, better, or 600 more expensive, excuse me, or 500. Sorry, I can't do math right now.
You think LeBron's gonna be higher owned than AD?
Yeah, I do. I mean, just the positional stuff. Center is a pretty tough position to spend up at all the time. You have some pretty solid options at the center option or the center spot tonight with Bam, with Sabonis. So I do think that AD probably, and I mean Rudy Gobert, Jalen Duren, all getting some ownership as well. I think he comes in a lot less ownership or more ownership.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I'm not quite convinced. Maybe it's who knows what it'll be. Anyway, center is absolutely loaded. There's no doubt about that. Him just being center eligible. You said Sabonis. There's Gobert, Duren, Bam. Love is a value that gets you there. So center is definitely loaded. And I think 2 center nights is strong on plenty of teams for sure. That was all 7 games on the slate, or 6 games, excuse me. All 6 games on the slate. Again, we'll get this Porzingis news, 7:30 Eastern, 30 minutes later than usual is lock. That Duncan Robinson news is very important as well. And I'm just going to be sitting back expecting these ADs to play, wait for Conley. I mean, projections will be updated. You need projections in NBA DFS. They're updated before the lock times, after the news. You need them, plug it in. If AD is out, we get a weird starting lineup somewhere. Definitely, first thing, go to projections, core report. If Rio changes his, if I change cash, it's updated in yellow, constantly refresh throughout the nights. Need projections, we got them. Core reports, if you only have 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you need something to look at quick, you can check it out. Check out Rio's. He does put in the time. We don't want you just playing core plays, though. Ceiling rankings, correlation tools, Discord. Can ask a lot of questions. Rio does a great job in the NBA Discord. Golf going on Thursday. D-Gen's over here. NASCAR, Daytona. We have NASCAR now. Going to be a lot of fun over here, and the price doesn't go up at all. Cheapest price in the industry. Best content. SHIPITNation.com. Weekly, monthly, 6-month, annual. Check it out. Rio, final thoughts for the people before we get on out of here.
This is just a nice appetizer slate for the main course tomorrow. We got the 13 games we got to talk about. Hopefully they can split it up, make it a little bit easier on us, but expecting a big slate tomorrow, so we'll be nice and prepared for that. But yeah, a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon. All-Star weekend, nice little break going on. All the PGA, NASCAR stuff that you mentioned, definitely a good time to get in, to become a member. Discord definitely pays for itself as well. So yeah, looking forward to what the future has in store for us.
DGen15 gets you 15% off. What's going on, Matthew? Ivy birthday narrative. Aubrey in here. Great show. We appreciate that, Sean Sullivan. Hope everybody out there has a great night. Daytona 500, Jake's excited for. Let's win some cash tonight. Ship It Nation logos up top for Rio. I'm Title Tom. Be safe. Good luck tonight.